Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really fun tutorial for you guys. This is a Teasy Light lived-in look that I have as an option on my blonding menu. I have 4 options. This is one of them, and this is the only one I carry right now on my blonding menu that is not a part of my sinful blonding foiling technique. This is great for people who want to do more of a lived-in look, a traditional highlight look, a rooted look, something like a balayage appearance, even though balayage is a technique and that is not what I do. I like foil work and I don't do this often, believe it or not. I used to do it a lot more, but my technique has gotten so big and that's what people love seeing me do and that's what they want when they come in. So I do this, I would say like 10% of the time, if even that. So I'm going in and I am doing 2 different things today. I am using Joico Defy Damage Pro Series Part 1. As you see, I'm spraying it on the hair. I have absolutely fallen in love with this the week before I went to Daytona back in the first week of February. Had it sitting in my cabinet for a very long time. Tried it, fell in love, never looked back. This stuff is amazing. I don't know how people are sleeping on it. I've tried K18. I like that. It reminded me of Olaplex. Very comparable. I was ride or die for Olaplex all of my career, 5 years now. But when I use this, it is like nothing I've ever used before. When I rinse out the Lightener, it literally feels like I'm rinsing out a conditioning mask. From there on, the shampoo, conditioner, and then the K-Bond 20, it just gets better and better each time. So I am going in, and when I do a lived-in look like this, I do happen to still do baby lights around the hairline. I will never go in and do a teasy light, at least most of the time, just for the simple fact that I still want it to be a little bit more poppier, a little bit more brighter, like the sun did it at the beach all day or all summer. Second thing, I am going in and trying a new lightener today. I'm using Wella Blondor, the original. Now, I tried this a long time ago in the beginning of my career, and I like trying new things. I knew they had the one that's 9 levels of lift, and then the other one that they had for about a year or so. Haven't got my hands on that one, and the 9 levels of lift new one was out of stock. So I decided to just grab this. Let me know down in the comments below. I do like every year, at least once a year, where I go every week for like a month straight and try a new lightener every time I go to the supply store, just because the technology is constantly forever changing and a lot of brands are upping their lighteners with better, protection, better lift. So I like to see what else is out there. I don't like to get too comfortable, but you guys know Joico Blonde Life is always my go-to. I always bounce back and forth between that and Blonde Me, but I really am set in my way with the Blonde Life because it's very consistent, never swells, and I like the lift. It's a little slower, it has to sit a little longer, but it does get there. This is my client Fiona. Her mom and her sister have been clients of mine for several years now into my career, probably since the very beginning of my first year. I cut her hair 3 or 4 years ago when she was like 10 or 11. She's 14. It's her birthday 3 days from this day, which was March 4th. And her mom was like, it's time, you could do your hair. So we decided to go in. I didn't want to go over the top and do, back-to-back foiling work like my technique with the sinful look. I didn't want to like just throw her into that, and her mom wasn't ready for that. But she did box dye her hair, and she did it just once or twice. So sometimes I like going in with the Teasy Light lived-in look, and not all the time do I tease with this technique. Sometimes I'll just feather up if the client's hair is not good with teasing. But I feel like this is a really good first session if I'm not doing a major color correction and a color remover. You can see her root is a little lighter. She has a reverse line of demarcation, so that's where it's lighter at the root and darker towards the ends. But I didn't feel it was a big enough deal where I would have to go in and do a paint between. I figured just by doing this would be enough brightness and kicking a lot of that old permanent out. See how we lift. And then on top of that, when we later on do the toning, we can smudge it down. And I will reach for my Joico Lumishine for great opaque coverage. That is a great line for toning on the root. That's what I used to start out with toning in the beginning of my career for the first year or 2 with the root toning, because it covers so well. You still see the highlights, but it really does go in there and cover and remove foil lines.
Hit me like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer ground. When you believe in me, love is gonna set me free.
can see here when I'm doing the Teasy light, I am doing what I would do if you were doing more of a traditional highlight in a sense. Like they teach you in hair school, you take a section, you split it in half down the middle, and then you take your weave off the top layer, and then you have your subsection on top of that, which was left out of the stitch. That is how you do traditional highlights. Now, you know, obviously mine's still a little closer than the average person, or it was back in the 90s, early thousands. People are getting a little bit more closer. But with my sinful, you know, foiling technique, is literally back to back. The only thing left out would be whatever's left out of the stitch, whether I'm doing a dimensional stitch or my sinful, which is my AKA baby light stitch. That's what's going to leave more variation, more dimension in the hair. And that's why when we rinse, you'll see there's a lot more darkness. It doesn't even look like there's any blonde or any lightness except for around the hairline, as opposed to when you see me do my back-to-back technique with the sinful look. Then you'll see what the hairline looks like. That's what it would look like for a regular whole head, and they would see a lot more blonde, and that's because there's barely anything left out except for whatever was left out of the stitch, and that's what differentiates this from my regular technique that is my go-to.
Now the world has seen your face.
So I let her process for about 60 minutes without heat, and we only used 20 volume with the Wella Blondor, and she got a decent level of lift. I would say, you know, she lifted around 6, 7s, and 8s, not evenly. But you can see here what I mean about looking a lot darker. You don't even really see the lightness except for the hairline where I did my baby light, aka sinful hairline. And doing them so close back to back, that's what gives us that brighter effect. But that's what is the whole point of this kind of look. You don't want to be overly blonde. She specifically stated, I want to look brunette with highlights, not blonde with lowlights. So I'm going in, I am basing her with 5NA, 5N Joico Lumishine. Once I apply that everywhere, and I am doing the hairline at the same exact time to bring it down a little bit for a more lived-in look. Don't panic, don't worry, it always looks really dark, but you'll still be able to see that money piece. It just, you know, kind of softens it a little bit. Once I do this root smudge and apply it everywhere, I comb it through. I'm using the Tangle Teaser, which I love. That and the Olivia Garden eye blend brush are my go-tos, along with the Samvia comb when it comes to blending. And then after that, I'm going to go in, apply her all over Global Toner formula. We did not have to do a mid-toner. She lifted really beautifully. Everything looked great. I mixed 6, 7s, and 8s in the toner formula. I did several of them for a good look. And keep watching to see the final results. I think you guys are going to love it. The formula was 6WG, 7T, 7P, 8VB, 8WG, 8GI. Sometimes you got to mix the whole concoction and just hold your fingers crossed and pray for the best.
Living life is dangerous, but there's a map for every maze.
Oh my God, there you have it, guys. Look how beautiful this color came out. That softened that hairline so beautifully. It looks so natural, like she just spent the whole summer at the beach. I love it. I hope you love it. I hope you learned something. Leave video ideas down below. I want to start posting more times a week. I want to be giving you guys content constantly and grow this channel even more. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. As always, so long for now, guys.